There are two bugs that spoil our jumps. One causes the player block to jump infinitely high, and the other keeps it from falling smoothly. So we're going to fix this. We're going to add some code to test the jump controller. So it's going to check whether the player is just above the platform or on the platform. This should fix our issues. So here we have our if. We are now going to put another if inside our jump control to do the test. So we're going to say, if it is touching the platforms. So we're going to go to sensing and we're going to say touching the platforms. So if it's going to touch the platforms, we need to go to the variables. We're going to set the fall speed to the same as the takeoff speed. So our speeds of going up and down will be even. Now, we want to change where they're moving. So what I need to do is I need to change my Y. So I'm going to find my change my Y. And this goes right underneath the key space. I'm going to change it by -1. And I'm also going to add that at the bottom. So I'm changing this by -1, and I need another change by all the way down at the bottom here, underneath the other if, and change by -1 again. What these will do, this is going to move the player block just down one step, and this bottom will cancel out the small downward movement, so it should make it smoother. This block makes the player jump only when it's on the platform. We're going to try the code above, and it should make everything look smoother and control the height of the jumps. See, now it's not jumping infinitely high, and it is a smoother fall down to the platform. So these two blocks helped it move just a little bit, and this block caused it to work only when it's touching the platform. Now, we have some more jumping problems we have to fix. To fix the other jumping bug, when it just pauses right above the platform and falls slowly again, like that, what we have to do is we have to change what happens when the player touches the platform. At the moment, the red square reverses by the fall speed. Instead, we're going to make it reverse in tiny steps till it's just above the platform. So what we have to do is we have to create a new variable called reverse step. So I go to my variables, I make a variable, and I'm going to call it reverse step. Okay. Then we have to change the code for our simulating gravity. So inside here now, we need another if-else statement. You do need to be careful where you're placing your if-else statements. So I'm going to go to control, and I need an if-then-else inside of my top if statement. I'm going to remove these, and we're going to start. So if you're touching the platforms, then we say we need to go to the operator, and we need the less than operator. And we're going to put that inside. So basically we're saying it's affecting the fall speed. So I'm going to say the fall speed is less than 0. This is going to help us control the speed. This if-then block figures out which way the player needs to move. So we're going to go and we're going to say if it's less than 0, we're going to set the reverse step to 1. And basically what's that saying is if the player block is falling and the fall speed is negative, reverse and it will go up. If anything else, we want it to go the opposite way and we want it to go down. So if we are going to set else, not the fall speed, we are going to set the reverse step to 1, so it'll allow it to go up. But if it's the opposite, we want it to be -1, so it ends up going down. So these guys are going to help control and determine the direction that it's going to move into. we want this to keep going. So we're going to need a repeat until block because we need it to keep going until something happens. So that's going to go underneath this reverse block. So we want this to keep happening until it's not touching the platform. So I have to go into the operators and find my not and stick that inside, and then go to sensing and find my touching, and we want it to be not touching the platform. So we want this to do this, and what we want it to happen is we want it to change Y, the up and down. So I'm going to go to the motion, and I'm changing my Y. And what am I changing my Y by? By whatever we decided was the reverse step. So I have to go to variables and find the reverse step and put it inside. The last thing I need to make sure is here is my else is that I have my fall speed is still set by gravity. And then there's one more thing I need to put inside. Then I need to set my fall speed, make sure my fall speed is set to 0. Now we're jumping again. I click the green flag and I jump. Great. But you'll notice it kind of rises a little slowly, and we don't want that to happen. So what you're going to do is you're going to right click on simulate gravity, the define simulate gravity. Click on it and get to edit. You're going to check off the box run without screen refresh. This will get the simulate gravity to keep going and going and going. So it should not have the slow motion effect. We should have a nice smooth jumping square and a nice smooth landing. And now we fixed all our bugs.